I just wanted to say something because I know Mr. Weaver's leaving, but I know things went down yesterday and all this, but I want you to look, Mr. Weaver, and everybody to look at, and I've been saying this all along, that elementary schools are in dire need. When you have 553 students attack staff, 570 students attack another student, and you have 244 verbal threats, the elementary school needs help. And it is not getting any better. It would be wonderful if we could get to that reduction, but Mr. Weaver, we really do need help, and we need several positions in that effect. Yeah. That we cannot teach these students in class if they are disruptive, if they're hitting a teacher, hitting a child, acting up in class, they're disruptive, and then the other 20 students, 25 students are not getting help either. Yep. So please, I need you to reconsider what happened yesterday, but these numbers are awful, and it's very concerning when you have 553 elementary students attacking teachers. Something is wrong, and we need help in that area, and we need it now. And it is just very concerning. When you look at the middle and high, it's telling us something has changed in the elementary school, and we do need help.
In relation to that, I understand, and I see the numbers here as well as anybody, and I know our elementary student has changed quite a bit in the last couple years. But I mentioned to Dr. Lockhart earlier, May 2nd is coming up here. I think we have a joint meeting. It would be a good time to maybe change ask for a change of agenda a little bit and address some issues first in that meeting, and then we move on to the other things we have to deal with. And
thank you.
I think that might be a way that we communicate a little better. And as I said earlier, as ex officio, I guess, to the board, we had a miscommunication. What's going on when maybe I should have been more proactive and said, this is what we're doing at this time, or at least communicated that better. It's not the way we've done it in the past, but I want things changed too in the future, and I think we need to be open. And our quarterly meetings will make I hope, some big changes here in the near future to us. And I think if we sit down quarterly and start talking about things, time budget comes around, we'll all be aware of where we're going a little better in the future. So
well, I know Dr. Lockhart asked for those positions, and it's very plain to see that there isn't necessary evil for this, unfortunately. So I just wanted to go to bat for Dr. Lockhart, because this is right in plain sight that we can see that we are having problems. And Mr. Weaver, I always want that open communication, and somehow it didn't happen yesterday. But these numbers are just horrifying.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about the numbers.
And I didn't mean to change something,
no, that's okay.
But we need to, people need to see this.
Right. There was a necessity for everything that we proposed.
Yes, but this is heart-wrenching when I saw that number. I just couldn't believe it. And both my granddaughters are in elementary, and let me tell you, I do hear stories.
Well, what worries me is, what about instances that aren't even reported?
So
if I could just Mr. Weaver is leaving, so I do want to make the statement. I appreciate you saying that there was a miscommunication, because I think that there definitely was a miscommunication between what the school system was trying to communicate and what the commissioners heard, because what went down at the budget meetings yesterday is very concerning. There's definitely some confusion there, and I appreciate your openness to address some of these topics at the May 2nd meeting. I think we'll definitely
and it's just, things happen sometimes, and we have to go back and deal with it. So I think that would be a perfect time. We have a proposed budget out. It's not final, so we need to go out. We'll be on the road quite a bit. Ted's going to be out talking to people, and then we have the final session at the community college before we come back and deal with things. But we have to make a lot of decisions this year, and tough decisions. It wasn't the type thing where we're adding things. This is like, wow, what are we cutting this year? What are we cutting? And typically it's always, we get to the school system, that there's a race across the street, and we just weren't you just didn't know what was happening at that time.
And we're a
So
big
I
part
think,
of it.
oh, so now I think we go back and, the budget's not finalized, so now we go back and look at everything, and that's what we have to do at this time. And as I said, I guess I should have made some phone calls, and I normally do ahead of time. I had more communication, but we hadn't heard much, so I assumed things were okay, but yet we need to do that. And I'm take the blame on this one. As ex officio, I should have communicated better with Dr. Lockhart at this point in the board. So we'll get through it. We'll just have to work together and be very open about it here. And I think May 2nd would be a perfect time to revise our agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver, because you and I go way back.
Oh, I know.
Well, I appreciate the comments
Thank you
that,
so
you know, that
much.
the budget is not final
Yeah.
and that you're willing to hear from us again before that is
Oh, I
finalized,
think,
and that we
yeah,
can
I
talk
mean,
about it on May 2nd.
And appreciate you attending tonight. Appreciate that.
And I'm sorry I have to.
I know.
I got triple booked tonight, so I
Well,
cut
thanks for
one out
coming,
and
as
came
always.
here instead. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.